This is going out to my fellow young men. I don't know, maybe it seems weird to think of the young men as my fellows, but even at 55 years old, I don't feel much older than I did as a teenager. And I remember as a teenager, my parents nurtured a strong attitude of strive to be excellent, strive to be the best, and really allowed us to work hard at it. My parents took religion and spirituality seriously, so wanting to balance capability and skill academically, doing well in sports, and trying to fill the spirit all at the same time wasn't really that easy, and all the chaos and noise, dating, etc. I remember my religious leaders, with all their desire to get it right, and parents, teaching phrases like return with honor and remember who you are. I remember appreciating that they were focused on motivating to be a good man, to be a good young man, to be a righteous, noble, and it got a little aggravating sometimes when they assumed that motivation was the problem with learning elements of self-mastery, especially sexual self-mastery. I needed training. I think now about, can you imagine being on a sports team where the coaches spent more time trying to motivate you and not enough time teaching you technique and methods and strategy? The Book of Mormon is a phenomenal educator in the area of self-mastery and psychological warfare because there's so many chapters on war and stratagem. As I've studied for the last 30 years, the art of self-mastery, I've also learned that it is a psychological, spiritual war with Satan, but I've been comforted to discover that it can be approached very much like a serious athlete approaches his sport.
If you're finding this video helpful or want to help us reach others in need, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because it really supports our channel. Thank you.
If you follow President Nilsson and the pattern for growth cycle of Discover, Plan, Act, Reflect, we refer to it as the DPAR, DPAR, Discover, Plan, Act, Reflect. Reflecting is like in sports doing film review. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? Making notes, taking notes, being objective about it. And then discovery is like learning new tools, new techniques, studying the best of the best in your sport. Book of Mormon and other scriptures are full of role models in psychological and spiritual warfare. How did Nephi win his psychological battles? How did Abinadi win his? How did Nephi, Moroni? Once I understood, you and I are plenty motivated to be successful with our self-mastery. We are plenty motivated to live up to a high standard. But when you walk into the psychological forest that is as familiar as a Vietnam jungle, and your opponent is in his home territory, when you realize, as President Nilsson calls him, relentless adversary, if you don't know his strategy and his techniques and his methods, there's no way you can proceed with any confidence that you're going to return with honor. And so I am sending this message out in hopes of giving you and your parents and your church leaders, religious leaders, spiritual leaders some hope. We can win. We can become trained. We are motivated. We can learn, but we have to learn from concepts and principles that are actually going to work. So for 20 years, I have been refining, fine-tuning a training system called Sons of Helaman. We have an adult version of it called Men of Moroni. We have been studying the techniques of the enemy, the psychological methodology of how he gets inside of our heads, and it is our responsibility to learn how to respond successfully to that and how to be like unto the noble warriors and military leaders of the Book of Mormon, learning how to prepare for the next attack of the enemy, predict, anticipate the next battle, fight with the appropriate amount of ferocity. One of the phrases in the Sons of Helaman story is, they performed every word of command with exactness. We are willing as young men to do so, but I gotta know what those techniques are. I need to know how to do the drills. I can do drills for the football team. I can do drills for the wrestling team. I can do drills for my musical work, but I can't do them if I don't know what they are. I invite you to start for yourself. If you're a mom, if you're a dad, if you're a spiritual leader, start by going to Like Dragons, Did They Fight? A title that comes from the attitude, mindset needed to win psychological warfare against Satan. The quick way to get your free copy of it is likedragonsfree.com, and then just fill out the form and it'll be emailed to you. So start by reading that, There's a handful of other videos on this YouTube channel that'll also get you oriented to the concepts, but as you probably have already guessed, learning how to win psychological warfare against a 7,000-year-old military psychological genius like Satan, learning how to win those battles from a book is like learning how to play football using a chalkboard. At some point, you have to get on the practice field and do drills and drills and drills. And so that's the main purpose of a Sons of Human or Men of Mormon training session, is to drill and drill and drill. They feel more like a military boot camp. We often refer to it as the Knights of the Round Table, because the brotherhood that's built in those training systems is likened to the brotherhood that's created in a military troop. These young men gained a love for each other that lasts a lifetime. And when they graduate and they get their graduation ring and they wear it and they see others wearing the same honorable titanium ring on their missions or in the future, and they don't even have to say anything, they just reach out to each other and clack their rings with a knuckle bump, and there's an instant brotherhood because they have been through similar wars and they are proud of their accomplishments. The training is available. You need not live in a world of aggravation that you don't know how to live up to your already existing high quality standards. We look forward to you being with us.